FCC hearing on the future of media, the information needs of communities. Support for this program has been provided by the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Chris Callahan. I'm Dean of the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University. It is an honor and a privilege to be hosting today's Federal Communications Commission hearing on the information needs of communities. This morning, the Commission will be hearing from media experts from around the country, exploring the key findings and recommendations of an FCC report produced by Mr. Stephen Waldman and his Commission colleagues, the most comprehensive look at national media policy in a generation. We are delighted you're able to join us this morning. Now please join me in welcoming two of the nation's leading figures on this important issue. Julius Genachowski, Chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, and FCC Commissioner Michael J. Copps.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for your outstanding leadership of the Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Thank you to the panelists who are here today. We see four up here. There are more who will be participating as well. Many of them traveled a great distance to be here as part of this discussion of these important issues. Almost 2 years ago, catalyzed by a report from the Knight Commission, a bipartisan group that the Knight Commission assembled, I asked Steve Waldman to lead a cross-agency team at the FCC to examine the information needs of communities in the digital age. The communications landscape had changed so dramatically with the entry and widespread use of broadband on computers, on smartphones, on tablets like these. What's the state of play? And are there recommendations on how to ensure that communities in the 21st century have the news and information they need and want? I'm pleased that, thanks to Steve Waldman and a remarkable team at the FCC, the Commission released an in-depth and thoughtful report this past June. Dean Callahan, thank you for your kind words about the report. The report was on, of course, the information needs of communities in the broadband age. It describes how new technology is creating a new world of opportunity to empower journalists and citizens and to keep the public informed like never before. Much is going well when it comes to the internet and journalism. Digital innovations have made the gathering and distribution of news and information faster, less expensive, and more democratic. One example from Arizona, digital innovations have opened up new opportunities for tribal communities to preserve and share their culture and history in ways never before possible. Beyond that, in our nation's history, we've never had a greater opportunity to realize our founding vision of a vibrant democracy bolstered by a strong free press and informed citizens. So the first contribution of the report is its focus on the opportunities of new technologies. Now the second is its focus on the challenges. Foremost is the disruptive impact the internet and economic pressures have had on local news gathering. The report describes compellingly the deficits in the media system, most especially an emerging gap in local news reporting that's not yet been fully filled by digital media. This matters tremendously. If citizens don't get local news and information, the health of our democracy suffers. The less quality local reporting we have, the less likely we are to learn about problems and misdeeds, whether they're schools that fail children, hospitals that mistreat patients, factories that pollute water. So opportunities and challenges, but the report did not just stop at presenting the challenges. It suggests thoughtful and practical initiatives to help address the challenges it identifies. It does so recognizing the essential constraints of the First Amendment, particularly vital in this area of news and information. And indeed, many of the suggestions in the report are for non-governmental actors, a strength of the report. As Steve put it, government is not the main player in this drama. To be sure, there are important areas where government can make a positive difference. And Steve and his team developed a creative set of recommendations for government, the private sector, and nonprofits that can help make success possible for journalists and entrepreneurs trying to seize the opportunities of the digital revolution. At the FCC, we've recently implemented one of the report's recommendations, purging the fairness doctrine from our books. In addition, I've asked the Media Bureau at the FCC to move ahead with the recommendation to give religious and other non-commercial broadcasters more flexibility to raise money for charities in their communities or around the world. And I've asked the Media Bureau to develop and move forward on a plan to advance the report's principles related to disclosure. In this internet age, of course, the public information in the public file kept by broadcasters should be online, not in filing cabinets. And as we've heard from thoughtful leaders in both the broadcasting and public interest communities, there should be a streamlined and non-burdensome online mechanism for broadcasters to disclose key information about their service to their communities. I'm looking forward to hearing from representatives of media companies, public interest groups, the Academy, innovators, many others today. While some of these groups may differ on some of the details, they've come to support the basic framework for broadcaster transparency, as I've indicated. It's a significant development. I want to applaud both the leading broadcasters represented here and the public interest groups for your constructive and positive approach to this topic. I believe this will benefit American communities and the broadcasters that serve them.